Hey dreamers, I'm Bryce and I don't know what my favorite Metallica song is. Could it be No Remorse? Let's find out. Using math. Cue the intro.
So give it to me now!
For the best Metallica song! No Remorse, track 8 from Kill 'Em All, which means we're almost to the end. There's only 10 tracks, so we're very close, and I'm pretty excited. My memory of this song is that it's pretty good, but I haven't heard it in a long time, so I kind of forgot how it started, but I know there's some good stuff in this one. I'm really excited for it. Today, we can't grade this song based off of how I feel about it. We are grading it on the following criteria, and that is lyrics, instrumentation, composition, we have memorability and emotional response, which I guess is how I feel about it. But still, it's not the only thing. There's plenty of things to look at. So, without further ado, let's get to listening to the song. Okay, I like that. I like that. We have a halftime feel, and then there's a drum roll, and then now we're at double, at like regular time. You hear the drums speed up; they double it. So we have the riff. I'm gonna just start it over because I want to hear that again, and then we go into a solo. Halftime. It's kind of like, I want to talk about that drum part as well, because typically a drum beat would go boom, cap, boom, cap, boom, cap, boom, cap. But Lars is emphasizing that last hit, so he's like breaking the pattern by, you're expecting a boom, cha, but then he gives you a boom, ka, and it's just kind of neat. Boom, cap, boom. It kind of gives you like you're bobbing your head, but you're like, there's an offbeat. It's cool. And now we're going straight. We're not emphasizing those hits anymore. Cool solo. Oh, we're going through another? Does that mean we get a fourth time? No, we're back to the... Okay, interesting. They did the riff like 3 times through for the solo. That's pretty cool. I like that. Typically there's a 4, but that's only 3 times. That's neat. Now we're back to that halftime feel. Oh, okay. All right. I got to rewind that again. This is cool. Okay, this one. Okay, I'm jamming so much that I can't even count. I don't know how many times the song is going through. I'm already having fun. I like the song. Now we're switching up the riff. We've had the same rhythm riff for the entire song so far. So now we got a new riff. New riff. That riff has an offbeat to it. Dun, 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 dun. Off that offbeat. It comes in on the off. That's cool. Now we have the chorus. Second time. Ride cymbal on the... And then back to that riff again. Okay, cool. The chorus has a new riff as well, and I really like this riff. Let's see if I can play it. I got an acoustic guitar right next to me here. Let's see if I can do this here. Oops. I can't hit it. I don't know the next part, but that riff is really cool. It doesn't match the lyrics. It doesn't follow anything. It's a brand new riff, but it's so catchy. I just love how catchy that riff is. Man, it's so cool. And I think something that's helping this song so far is we got the repetition. Why can't I say words? We've got the repetition of these riffs. They're coming over and over and over again, but they're catchy. And there's also something about the lyrics. We'll talk more when I get into my grading, but the lyrics are far better than anything else on this record so far. So that's really helping them in this song. There's an artisticness to it. I can't explain. We'll get to it. Now we're back to the first riff. I like those hits. The stops. I don't know for sure. I guess I'm not going back through this whole album so far. I don't think we've had too many stops. Those cymbal mutes that Lars is doing. He's hitting the cymbal, but then he's muting it with his hand instead of letting it. Right? And he becomes very well known for those cymbal stops, those cymbal mutes. And I wonder if this is the start of it, because I don't know. I guess Four Horsemen had a few of them. Dum, bum, bum. But really, it hasn't been much through this album so far. So this is like a Lars style. Bum, 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 bum. That's really cool. I like those. Breaks up the riff. Sing it with us.
War without end.
Offbeats. Same thing as before.
No remorse, no revenge. We don't care what it meant. Another day, another death, another sorrow, another breath. No remorse, no revenge. We don't care what it meant. Another day, another death, another sorrow, another breath.
Okay. This part kind of goofs up for me. That didn't really feel like it fit. It just kind of goes into like I don't think it's an actual note. I think they're taking the guitar and just kind of going, just kind of nothing. But it feels out of rhythm to me. There's like a weird, I don't know, that part kind of, that broke me a little bit. I don't know so much about that one. Okay, this though. We got sort of a gallop here, okay, that didn't do it, but the this is cool, Kind of a throwback to the Four Horsemen, has that kind of stop, and now we have a galloping riff. It's cool, it's cool. Lars is emphasizing. Bah, bah. Real bluesy. That's cool. Okay, so I want to talk about the lead guitar because they're also using pattern breaks as well. You hear that. It's the same thing over and over, but eventually there's a break in there. So and it goes down farther. So again, pattern break, really cool. I love it. I love it. I love it. I gotta talk about this part. Okay, so we had another pattern break. It was climbing up with the guitar, but now we have the same riff, but the drums are now, instead of playing straight, they're playing on the toms. It's really cool. It's breaking up the riff. It's changing it. It's keeping it new and fresh. This is really energizing me. I like it. Okay, all right. I gotta dock some points for that. I think if you could skip that part all together and just go back to this riff. That was kind of silly. It kind of feels dancey now. We had a cool headbanger and we had some galloping, right? We had a cool riff and then the big tom section and then like I don't know. That didn't really do it for me. The third verse. Sing it. Oh. Oh, that's a part of the song. Attack. Interesting. So they stop, and it's just a drum roll for what, eight measures, something like that. You won't see much of that kind of thing from Lars anymore, but a big long drum roll, and then the scream of attack. Okay, well now, up until this point, I was feeling like, hey, these guys are maturing, right? They're getting out of their 18-year-old place. This brought it back down. Now, yep, we're still kids. We're still figuring this thing out. But okay, whatever. But now we got the thrash riff. We're back to the ride cymbal. Yep. The interesting thing about this riff is that the hits, they're actually on the downbeat, and that's kind of, it feels almost rare. If we go back to Whiplash, they're hitting the kind of, it's kind of a same riff, but it's shifted on the it's shifted. It's shifted over, so we're not doing offbeat hits anymore. We're doing downbeat hits. That's just kind of interesting to me. Okay, I appreciate how it's a chugging riff and then it changes for that little verse there. That versus a bridge. What's funny is this riff it's kind of Motor Breath again. Living and dying, laughing and crying. It's kind of the same. So I guess from one perspective, you could say, hey, you're using the same thing again, even though I know it's different. Or you could say, hey, this is making it sound like a record because there's some, we're alluding to future songs and past songs. So we're kind of holding it together as a record. So you could argue both ways. It doesn't harm the song much for me because I know sometimes you just do stuff like that. But interesting thing to note. I love this triple. Okay, trash can ending. Trash can ending. Classic. Oh. Okay, all right, good. Well done, Metallica. Well done. Well, that was fun revisiting that song after a long time. Let's get to the review. Lyrics. What is this song about? Well, I think the title speaks for itself. No remorse. And also the hook right before the chorus, war without end. This is clearly just about ongoing war. And I know from just what I've read and what we know about the future of Metallica, they've always taken a stance of anti-war. They've never been pro-war. So I feel like this song has a sense of irony to it. It's like, it feels like they're promoting it, but they're actually kind of taking, like, they're over it feels like they're over exaggerating for the sake of drama, to kind of, like, they're dramatizing it. They're really trying to call attention how bad war is. We have stuff, war without end obviously is a big thing. Blood feeds the war machine. That's a pretty cool lyric. What is the other one? Only the strong survive. This is a big question mark for me. No will to save the weaker race. So I wonder if this is something about either World War II or the Armenian genocide or even the founding of America. It sounds like a racially charged war. I'm curious to know more. I haven't, sunk myself into the history textbooks of what this song means according to Metallica, but maybe it's open to interpretation. Either way, the song is about war. I talked a little bit about how the lyrics feel a lot better so far than the other songs in this record so far, and I want to explain this a little bit more. There's a poetic approach to it. If we look at just the first verse, no mercy for what we're doing, no thought to even what we've done. We don't need to feel the sorrow, no remorse for the helpless one. So they have this pattern of no mercy, no thought, no remorse, right? Those things are repeating. The third line breaks that with we don't need, but it's really poetic in a way. No mercy, no thought. It's got a pattern to it. I really, really appreciate that. No remorse, no repent. We don't care what it meant. I'm just finding out now that it's not what he meant. For some reason, I always thought it was what he meant, but whatever. What it meant. Another day, another death, another sorrow, another breath. This sort of listing, it's not just speaking, right? It's not just saying, you don't speak this way to somebody. You don't go up to someone and say, hey, war to me is another sorrow, another breath. You don't say things like that. You say, well, it's destructive and it's dangerous and there are things that people, you kind of talk in a different way. So that's why I really appreciate this and I want to give it extra points. However, asterisk, I said that and then I heard the rest of the song. When we get towards the end, those sort of outro, I don't know if you want to call them bridge verses or if you just want to call them verses 4 and 5, but soldiers are hounding, bodies are mounting, cannons are shouting to take their abuse. I don't know, I think that what brings it down for me is the attack and those last few. The furious fighting, swords are like lightning. It all becomes frightening. Death is near. I don't know. For some reason, it loses its luster. The artisticness, the poeticness that I was speaking of before kind of falls off at the end for me. So I like it. I don't hate it. I'm going to give it lyrically a 2. Instrumentation. I don't know. They did pretty good. I guess I don't really know how to grade by instrumentation because they're always pretty good. Nothing's really standing out in this song. Nothing's pulling it down. So if my baseline is 2, it's good there. It's good and safe there. Did they do anything to really capture my, wow, that instrument did a really good job? And I guess the only thing that really stands out is maybe that chorus is a cool riff. The solo's good, but again, I'm not grading solely on their solos. So I don't know, because I can't really lean either way. It's a 2. Composition. I really think this song is catchy. I think there's some great riffs in there. We got a verse, chorus, solo, verse, chorus, and then outro. I really liked the composition overall, but there's 2 parts that sort of bring it down for me. And that is that weird messy part before the bridge solo section. And then the outro, for some reason, just didn't really do it for me. So it almost got a perfect 4, but for composition this time, we're going to stick with 3. Memorability. I don't know. I think this is a pretty memorable song. The chorus has a really catchy riff. The chorus is the same lyrics repeated twice, and you hear that multiple times throughout the song, so you get used to it. It's kind of catchy. I think I wanted to give it a perfect score because of it being very memorable, but I think that the rest of the song, the middle section and the outro, are pretty forgettable. So we're going to knock it down, and as for composition, we're going to give it a 3. Emotional response. How did it make me feel? Well, I was pretty jazzed up for most of the song, but as you could probably tell, I kind of fell off towards the end, and I think that's a big problem. I think when you're listening to a song, you should be able to jam, and it was, I mean, I guess some of it is because I had forgotten the song, but to me, if I was listening to the song, it just, that scratchy, the pre-bridge or pre-galloping riff thing and the attack at the end and the just kind of the last few verses sort of fell off for me. So because if you were to watch how I was listening to the song, right? I'm listening. Oh yeah, this is pretty fun. Well, I could do without this part. I could do without it. It sort of falls off. So there's a peak in the middle and then it falls off. So I don't know. We're gonna give it a 2. So overall, No Remorse gets a grand total of 12 points. It just about made it to 3rd place, or tied for 3rd, but unfortunately it's in 4th place. And you'd see that the grand total is the same as Anesthesia Pulling Teeth, but I'm rating it higher than Pulling Teeth because No Remorse got a better score for composition. For me, composition is everything. So for the sake of this whole entire process, if at any point there are 2 songs that have a tied score, I'm always going to rank one higher based on composition first, and we'll talk about the rest when we get to that point. But for now, 4th place for No Remorse, which means Whiplash is still in the lead, and there's only 2 more songs to go. So let me know what your score is for No Remorse in the comments below. Make sure you check out the rest of the videos on this page. I'm not only Metallica content. I am a solo artist. I have a band that helps me play live. We do cover song music videos. We do original music as well, so check those out. And of course, hit subscribe so you can be right here with me tomorrow as we review Seek and Destroy. Thanks for watching.